What if I told you that every time your fish bumps into the glass, it's trying to tell you something urgent about its world? And most owners are completely missing the signs. Picture this. You're watching your fish glide peacefully through the water and suddenly, tap, it bumps into the glass. At first, it might seem funny or odd. Maybe you think it's just exploring. But when it happens again and again, a little worry starts to creep in. Is your fish confused? Stressed? Is something wrong? The truth is, glass bumping is one of the most misunderstood behaviors in the fish-keeping world. And what looks like a simple accident is often a clear signal that your fish is struggling. Let's dive into the hidden reasons behind this behavior and what you can do to help to understand why fish bump into glass. You first need to see the world through their eyes. Imagine living in a space where the walls are invisible. You can see out, but you can't get out. For a fish, glass is a baffling barrier. It looks like open water, but it isn't. In the wild, fish navigate using reflections, currents, and landmarks. In your tank, those natural cues are gone. So when a fish sees its own reflection, or something moving outside the tank, its instinct might be to investigate, defend its territory, or even try to swim through what looks like an open path. That first bump is often curiosity or confusion. But when it becomes a pattern, the cause is usually deeper. One of the most common triggers is what's called glass surfing. This is when a fish repeatedly swims rapidly along the glass, sometimes rubbing its nose or body. It looks frantic, almost like it's trying to escape. And in a way, it is. Glass surfing is almost always a sign of stress. The fish feels trapped, exposed, or threatened. But why? It could be the water quality. Ammonia or nitrite levels might be too high, irritating their gills and skin. Even if the water looks clear, invisible toxins can make the environment feel hostile. Think of it like breathing in faint smoke all day. You'd want out too. Poor water conditions are a silent emergency, and glass bumping is one of the first alarms. Another major cause is territorial behavior. Many fish are naturally territorial. They patrol their space and chase away intruders. But in a tank, when they see their own reflection, they might think it's another fish challenging them. So they charge again and again. It's exhausting, and over time, it can lead to injury or extreme stress. This is especially common with bettas, cichlids, and other assertive species. They're not being aggressive toward you, they're fighting a rival that doesn't exist. And every time they bump the glass, they're losing that fight. Then there's the issue of tank size and layout. A small, bare tank with nowhere to hide can make a fish feel vulnerable. In the wild, fish have plants, rocks, and shadows to provide cover. In an empty tank, they have nowhere to retreat, so they swim along the walls looking for an exit, a way back to safety. It's like being stuck in a bright, white room with no doors. You'd pace the walls, too. Lack of stimulation can also lead to what looks like boredom bumping. Fish are curious creatures. Without things to explore, like caves, plants, or gentle currents, they may resort to glass surfing just to have something to do. But what about more serious health issues? Sometimes, glass bumping is a symptom of a physical problem. Parasites, infections, or swim bladder disorders can affect a fish's buoyancy and coordination. A fish that's struggling to stay upright might bump into things accidentally. It's not trying to communicate, it's disoriented. In rare cases, neurological damage or vision loss can also cause a fish to collide with obstacles. So if your fish is also showing other signs, like lethargy, loss of color, or erratic swimming, the glass bumping might be a clue to a deeper health crisis. So what can you do? First, test your water. Ammonia and nitrites should be at 0. Nitrates should be low. If anything's off, perform a partial water change and check your filter. Second, look at the tank setup. Add plants, real or silk, and decorations that break up the line of sight. This reduces reflections and gives your fish places to hide. If you have an especially territorial fish, try reducing light outside the tank or adding a background to the back glass to minimize reflections. For fish that seem bored, introduce new elements slowly. A floating log, a gentle bubble stone, or even rearranging the decor once in a while can provide mental stimulation. And if you suspect illness, quarantine the fish if possible and consider consulting a vet who specializes in aquatic animals. The good news is, in most cases, glass bumping is fixable. I've seen stressed, glass-surfing fish transform into calm, curious explorers within days of their environment improving. It's not just about stopping the behavior. It's about giving your fish a life that feels safe, engaging, and natural. When you see your fish gliding through plants, investigating a new cave, or simply resting in a shaded corner, instead of tapping the glass, you'll know you've succeeded. You've given them a home, not just a container. Have you ever dealt with a fish that kept bumping the glass? What solution worked for you? Share your story in the comments. Your experience could help another fish owner spot the signs early.